110. Education paper. You know what numbers you had? No. Yeah.
All right, the meeting will now commence at 6:05 p.m. The first order of business is roll call. May we please commence roll call? Please speak loudly because Secretary Danya is on Zoom today. Very loud. Danya, hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Welcome back from spring break. Student Trustee Hawk.
Present.
President Almendras.
Present.
Vice President Fernandez.
Present.
Chief of Staff Patino. Speaker of the House Joe.
Here.
Treasurer Basta.
Present.
Graphic Designer Ramahi.
Present.
Web Administrator Suarez.
Present.
Chairperson Thumu.
Present.
Chairperson Chidari.
Here.
Chairperson Alvarez.
Here.
Chairperson Celestino.
Here.
I am here. Representative Yusuf. Representative Yusuf. I don't know. If
He's here.
Okay, thank you. Representative Ahmad. Is that? I'm so sorry. Is that a yes? Okay. Representative Beltran.
Here.
Representative Mata.
Present.
Representative Cruz.
Present.
Representative Paradruk. Okay. Representative Castle. Okay. Representative Karpinski.
Here.
Okay. Representative Haybelly. Representative Sharma. Representative Sharma. Okay. Sorry, guys. I cannot hear a thing. Representative Giron.
Present.
Representative Erlbacher.
Present.
Representative Goman.
Not here.
Okay, thank you. Representative Patel.
Present.
Representative Cordoba.
Present.
Representative Vodila.
Present.
Representative Hannah. Representative, okay, thank you. Representative Rothenbaum.
Present.
Representative Cabales.
Here.
Representative Dasgupta. Representative Slaughter.
Present.
Representative Zafar. Yes. Okay. Representative Zhang.
Present.
Representative Flores.
Present.
Representative Blinn.
Present.
Representative Preobrazhenskia.
Present.
Representative Dean. Representative Patel.
Present.
Representative Aladwan.
Present.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. The next order of business is reading and approval of the minutes. Please take the time to read over the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, then the minutes will stand as approved. The next order of business is reading and approval of the agenda. Please take the time to read over the agenda. Are there any corrections to the agenda? Yes, Treasurer Basta.
A motion to table resolution 2023 S8 1015.
There's been a motion to table resolution 2023 S8 1015. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? Not, then the motion is passed. Are there any other corrections to the agenda? Yes, Representative Erlbacher.
I motion to remove resolution 2023 S8 5008 from the agenda.
There's been a motion to remove resolution 2023 S8 5008 from the agenda. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Are there any other corrections to the agenda? Yes, Trustee Hawk.
I motion to amend the resolution 2023 S9-110 to change the title to the code to 10,000 or 1022.
So you can motion to make that amendment while we're reading the resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Kemby?
I motion to add resolution 2023 S9-1023.
There's been a motion to add resolution 2023 S9-1023 as to the agenda. Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Are there any other changes to the agenda?
Is that 1023?
Yes. Okay. All right, please send relevant documents in the email thread and we will move on to the next order of business. The next order of business is public comments. Is there any public comments? Oh, yes, go ahead.
I just had a meeting with PBC and he wanted to take a picture, like a committee picture at the art, like the really pretty stairs. And I have a camera, so if you guys want to do it too, like let me know. And I could take a nice picture of you guys, so Marcio could add it to like the website to make it more like professional looking. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if we can maybe do that like before or after a meeting for GBM, so everyone's here. That could be good.
That's good, yeah. But then we have to go to the art because I want to, or here, whatever you guys want, but we want to, if PBC wants to do it at the art, like by the stairs, because it's really pretty. And a lot of like clubs have done it, and I noticed it looks really like aesthetically pleasing. So.
All right, thank you. Are there any other, is there any other public comments? If not, we will move on to the next order of business, which is guest speakers. There are no guest speakers, so we will move on to the next order of business, which is old business. First, we have resolution 2023 S8 1017. Representative Jang, would you like to read this for us?
Yes. Before I read it, can I motion to make it an amendment to the resolution?
Go for it.
I motion to amend the date from Monday, April 2nd to Monday, April 17th to Friday, from Friday, April 7th to Friday, April 21st. And for the budget to say $400 instead of $650.
Okay, there has been a motion to change the dates to April 17th and April 21st and to change the funds allocated from 650 to 400. Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. All right, you can go ahead and read it if you'd like.
Whereas the UIC student body experiences a great amount of stress, especially during midterms and the last month of school, and whereas students would benefit from activities and events that could lower levels of stress and increase productivity, then let it be resolved, undergraduate student government shall host a series of events entitled UIC Mental Health Week, where we will host an event for every weekday of the week to alleviate levels of stress among the student body and provide activities and events to benefit students' mental well-being. Let me further resolve that these events shall take place from Monday, April 17th, 2023 to Friday, April 21st, 2023. Let me further resolve that the event shall be outlined in document attached to the resolution and in the email thread, mental health week outline. And let it be further resolved that the undergraduate student government shall allocate a total of $400 to fund the planned events for all costs are outlined in the spreadsheet attached to the resolution, also the email thread. Let it be further resolved that all unspent funds and materials shall go back to the USG budget.
Thank you. I will now open the floor for questions. Reminder, we will be voting on this today. Are there any questions, comments, or amendments to the resolution? Okay, I have one, just a quick update from us. Neither the therapy dog that Brina or the org that Brina mentioned nor CSI have gotten back to us yet. So to prepare for the worst, right now we're doing an alternative that's like a bring your pet to the quad day. That way we don't have to like reserve a room or anything. If they do respond in time, then all the better. But we just have that as a backup plan for now. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Representative Delay. Could you speak up a little? Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't understand, but is like, so I understand what's the but I didn't understand what's the there. Can you explain that?
Yeah, is it one specific event or like just all the events in general, like how they relate to each other?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so basically all these events have something to do with just improving like the physical or mental well-being of students. And so whether it be like exercise or having a conversation on mental health, it's really to just bring awareness and relieve stress among the community by either educating the students or to like bring some activity for every day of the week, that day of the week to like just like bring more attention to mental health and also like help them out with it and work finance week.
So you decide the event or you don't decide?
The events are already decided, and they're already assigned to a date. So in the document that I outlined, it like there's kind of like a rundown of like what events going to be happening on what day and where and what time as well.
Are there any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? If not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2023 S8 1017, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then resolution 2023 S8 1017 has passed. The next order of business, or the next resolution for consideration is resolution 2023 S8 1018. Director Jadari, could you please read this for us?
Whereas the undergraduate student government seeks to inform and engage with students on campus. And whereas USG recognizes the importance of in-person events for building the community and collecting student feedback. And whereas the Student Center East building is a central location on campus for student traffic. And whereas tabling events provide an opportunity for USG to connect with students and inform them about the organization's mission and initiatives. Then let it be resolved that USG will host a tabling event at the Student Center East building during the spring semester to garner student opinion/concerns on these following issues: campus safety, mental health, and academic safety. And let it further be resolved that USG will allocate a maximum of $50 to purchase approximately 3 poster boards, post-it notes, and candy for this event. And let it be further resolved that all unspent funds shall be returned to the USG budget.
Thank you. I will now open the floor for questions. Are there any questions, comments, or amendments for this resolution? We will be voting on this today. Yes, Carolina?
I would like to amend the resolution to include Daphne Rothenbaum as a co-sponsor.
Sure. There's been a co-sponsor or chief sponsor? There's been a motion to add Matthew Rothenbaum as a chief sponsor. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Yes, Director Chidari?
I motion to add, Secretary Danya as co-sponsor.
There's been a motion to add Secretary Danya as a co-sponsor for this resolution. Is there a second? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Okay, are there any other questions or comments or amendments for this resolution? Anyone? Okay, if not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2023 S8 1018, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then resolution 2023 S8 1018 has passed. The next resolution for consideration is resolution 2023. Just kidding. Okay, and that concludes our old business. Does it? Yes, right? Did I miss one? No, we're good. Okay. Yes, Treasurer Bassa?
I motion to suspend the rules and revisit the agenda.
There's been a motion to suspend the rules and revisit the agenda. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion carries and we will return to the agenda. Please take this time to read over the agenda. Are there any changes to be made to the agenda? Yes, Treasurer Bassa?
I motion to add resolution 2023 S9 1024 as new business.
There's been a motion to add resolution 2023 S9 1024 as new business to the agenda. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Please send all relevant documents in the email chain. Are there any other changes to the agenda? Yes, Representative Nazara?
That's the one I just did. That's the one I just did. Don't worry.
Are there any other changes to the agenda? If not, then the agenda will stand as approved. We will now move on to the next order of business, which is new business. First, we have resolution 2023 S8 5009. Okay, Representative Erlbacher, could you please read this for us?
Yes, resolution 2023 S8 509, designating the floor for students on campus. Chief sponsors on myself, Secretary Danya, Chairman Alvarez, Representative Safar, Representative the co-sponsors, Representative Cruz, Representative Slaughter, Representative Yusuf, Representative Flynn, and Representative Bennett. Whereas the undergraduate student government USG has a vested interest in amplifying freedom of speech and expression on campus, indicative of our campus cultural and political ideological diversity. Whereas the sacrosanct right to express one's thoughts and feelings must be observed, respected peaceably, and not disparaging individual identities. And whereas USG condemns any and all political extremism, violence, etc., and let it be further resolved, that following statement expresses USG does not condone any political extremism, especially for marginalized groups, cannot have great race of unity, as well as hope for peace and poverty. This statement below reads, the University community on July 9, 2023, Turning Point USA hosted a live free tour event featuring Charlie Kirk at the Isidore and CD1 Forum on campus. Some students in favor of the event committee were off the tag and excluded before the event. Organization reached out to the administration to protest the event. In addition, divisive language regarding the marginalized community, for example, Charlie Kirk claimed the stories of minorities are false, narrative, and quote, and ideological lies, end quote. Some of these claims he dismissed the existence of systemic racism. We, the undergraduate student government, understand the importance of freedom of speech, the University of Illinois Chicago owns a diverse population of students with various backgrounds, passions, and political ideologies. We encourage the difficult discussions that arise from the diversity and activism of the community, no matter what we stand, left, right, or center. This inimitable right is a hallmark of our democratic republic, and we must peaceably engage with those in agreement and dissent. However, when any political expression turns into the exclusion of minority and marginalized communities, the undergraduate is under this record. We hope for peace and politics and civil discourse, a campus where people are judged on merit and character rather than unequal identity. We implore the university administration to be more considerate of the needs of marginalized groups when guest speakers book campus spaces. Invite all students on campus to express any concerns that we cannot deeply of our meetings so that we may address the positive solutions to the differences, the undergraduate and government support further initiatives to host events that foster the environment. The healthy experience of ideas across the spectrum, the undergraduate government condemns all attacks on marginalized groups, the University of Illinois Chicago. When we look at our fellow students, we see and know our dignity, diversity, humanity. UIC has many complex, hardworking, strong students who value and love the community from different backgrounds and faiths.
Thank you. I will now open the floor up for discussion. Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Director Dreyer.
Sure, no comment. I motion for the president to motion an executive order in this resolution. You know, we put up the two resolutions from last week based on the session we had. So to keep everything on track, we should make that work.
Sure, you don't have to motion, you can just ask him.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have appreciated a heads up before executive orders. Is there a reason? Can you state the reason again, please?
We split the resolution. You scroll up. The previous resolution is there. We tabled the resolution at the beginning of the meeting. So to keep everything on track and to have this statement released based on the original or the initial date. Yeah. So keep the resolution on track.
Yeah, I'd like to give a time for the body to speak about it.
Okay. And I'll open the floor up for discussion. Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Representative Slaughter.
I think I previously made a motion to amend this resolution in terms of taking out political opinions. And I don't know, do I need to remake the motion?
So technically, since this was introduced as a new resolution today, I believe you would have to remake the motion.
Okay, can I make a motion to amend this resolution?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to do where it says
Sure. There's been a motion to remove political extremism from resolution 2023 S8 5009. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Oh, yes.
Like this, which was sort of controversial last week, there's debate for being amended the same.
Sure.
So like all motions to amend are able to be debated what they're voting on.
Mhm.
And I think that this one merits debate before we just vote on it.
Sure. Okay, I will now, sounds good. I will now open the floor up for discussion regarding this motion. Are there any questions or comments regarding this motion? Yes?
So the reason we included the title of political extremism is because we are coming at this from a very nuanced perspective of it, right? We're trying to say that all political extremism is bad in the context of defamation and slander of people's immutable identities in regards to political issues, if that makes sense. We're not trying to like take sides as to sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. We're just going to blanket statement saying that it's all bad because of what happened at the Supreme Court of USA and beliefs that they espouse, if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but I don't think it's made clear in this resolution exactly what you is that phrase. I think that the way in which it's read comes across as a very centric and quite frankly colonialist ideology, especially when you delve deeper into the political ideology behind that kind of argument. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of removing political extremism. I'm all for trying to rework the framing or rework the phrasing in order to actually communicate what people told us as a body, but I don't think that this is the correct phrasing, what your communication is meaning in this resolution.
Director Celestino and then Representative Lynn.
I hear what you're saying, but you used a lot of different ways to describe kind of your point. Is there another way that you can kind of like reword it in a way that's like digestible for all people who might not know what it means behind those very, I guess, complex ideas of like what it means for it to be from a colonialistic point of view, I guess.
So you're asking basically if I can elaborate on what I mean.
Right.
Okay. What I mean in terms of that, and I think I mentioned this the first time, I don't know if you were there or not, but like I think that at least I brought it up when this resolution was first introduced in terms of what exactly I mean, is that for instance, the society that we live in now, we know politically leans in the favor of wealthy folks, right? So knowing that we're already in a society in which most of the structures and the systems benefit wealthier, typically white cishet men, there's a certain degree of what people might see or deem as extremism that needs to occur in order to directly counteract that balance, to bring it to what we view as an equitable, socially just society. Not saying I support violence, which is obviously, you know, they can take that out. But that's the kind of stance that I'm coming from in saying that basically being neutral in basically like taking it from a CRT perspective, right? Looking at one of his 5 tenets, colorblind. Being colorblind means being neutral and being content in a racist system. And that's kind of what this framing is communicating.
Representative Lynn?
Do you have any advice on a better way to phrase what Representative Walker means when he writes political extremism? Because I do hear where you're coming from. I don't get the feeling that Representative Walker means to suggest any of those things. Is there something, instead of just removing the term, which I think would sort of neuter the resolution in a way, you have advice on how we could amend that term to be more, I guess, anti-colonial and to what you were bringing up to the body right now?
I think even if we put exactly what Representative Walker really even told us not to use into the resolution in terms of the definition, I think that will work just fine. Because I think that of course I understand, especially when we're on a local campus, I know the intentions are that. But I'm just saying that, you know, that's not necessarily how it's read without context. But I think that even if like if you could restate maybe what you had said 2 minutes ago, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I think even just adding that in that same little line snippet, maybe makes it a little bit longer, would work because the benefit of trying to clarify exactly, you know, the purpose of this event, and maybe a better way. I'm so sorry. And a better way that is actually conducive, you know, what you're trying to do here.
Representative Earl Blocker, can someone pass in the mic? Just a reminder, if you are speaking, please ask for the mic because Secretary Danya is on Zoom today.
So, with that, I agree with what you're saying. I could have phrased it better because I wanted to kind of take it another way that I thought would kind of voted well with the body, but I guess that's not so. So I would like to motion to amend resolution 2023 SA 5009 to from statement against political extremism on campus to statement against political extremism on campus towards marginalized groups.
There's been a motion to amend the title of the resolution to be statement against political extremism on campus towards marginalized groups. Is there a second? I will now open the floor for discussion for this motion. Would anyone like to raise any questions or concerns? Danya, he is amending the title of the resolution to include towards marginalized communities at the end. So the full title will be Statement Against Political Extremism on Campus Towards Marginalized Groups, correct?
Correct.
Is it okay if I speak right now? I had my hand up.
Oh, yes, go ahead. Sorry.
So no, that's fine. So I guess maybe it's because I can't hear that well. Well, I can't hear well, period. But especially like right now, I couldn't really hear much. But I just want to clarify, is there contention over the phrase political extremism in the resolution in its entirety or just in the title of the resolution? Because what I remember before spring break was that political extremism, because it's actually written in let it be resolved. I thought that was the one that was going to be removed. I just want some clarity on that because I have like an idea of like a way that we could just rework that, and if everyone's okay with that, that's, I'm open for discussion.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think it was the title and the whereas line. You said if you remember, so maybe if you could just share with us like how you would rework it or an idea of it, just to make sure it's okay with everyone here.
Yeah, so I think we're all hung up over this technical term of political extremism because like it is like something that has such a negative connotation and it is associated with like violence. So I'm not going to dispute that we should or should not have it in there because of those technicalities. I think we should just stick with the pure intention because at the event itself, the entirety of it was marginalizing people, and I think that's where we're coming from, is that it's a diverse campus and they're essentially marginalizing groups and communities of people with their own ideological beliefs. So I think instead of putting does not condone any political extremism, I think we should put instead ideological marginalization towards any, we could take out marginalized groups and instead put another word there. But I think instead of political extremism, perhaps ideological marginalization or just marginalization, period. Whether you want to add political as a preface to that or not. And then in the title, instead of statement against political extremism on campus, we could just say statement against marginalization on campus. But I'm sure marginalization needs a word in front of it to specify that it is by like a partisan. But yeah, that's the only way that I kind of envision this, because when writing this resolution, that really was the pure intention, was kind of twofold about marginalization, and then also just opening the dialogue of how to even approach these types of conversations when it comes to the arenas of advocacy and just, expressing your political beliefs.
Sure. So technically, if you would like to amend the motion, you can do so as well to change the wording if you would like to do that.
I'm not sure I'll motion to amend it. It was just an idea that I was throwing out. So if you guys like it, maybe we can use it. I don't really know, like, I'm not here. I don't know what people's faces are looking like right now.
Okay, are there any other comments? Yes, Sophia.
I am extremely confused right now, and part of it is because I feel like political extremism in any form and shape is already bad because it's extremism. So I don't think the original form of it sounds bad, you know, like I think it's like a shorter form of saying practically, because political extremism is bad, and I think everyone thinks.
Are you inviting them to?
Well, because you proposed it,
Alright.
so I wanted to, because I've already asked for clarification, but I'm just personally confused about the wording, because I think it's like a general statement to the public addressing the situation that upset a lot of people. And I think that doesn't really need to look so much into it, right? Because maybe other people would find it offensive in a different way if we say it, you know?
Please raise your hands if you have a comment or question. Yes, Veronica.
Okay, so maybe I'm really perspective, but I have to mention that, we all have different ideas about everything. It's not just about extreme or not, but I also want to hear you guys' clarification about the political extremism. So what do you mean by that? Like, so that because like two different people, it brings differently. So like, I just want us to be on the same page, understanding about like, where are we talking about? Because like, I just see the point that we're just going around, just saying like, it's not a right word, but like maybe in the word that we're thinking, we're not thinking on the same page. So I just want us to think about it and maybe clarify it a little bit, and then, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to limit Nazar's comment as the last one, just because we can go on like this forever. I think this is something that does warrant further discussion if the sponsors of this resolution would like to keep that in mind. Representative Safar, could you hand her the mic?
I just wanted to second what Veronica said. I think all of us have very different perceptions of what political extremism can be considered in many different contexts. And when we look at what Turning Point did on campus, right? There are certain groups of students on campus, evidently, as we saw them campaigning for Turning Point, saying that what Turning Point was trying to push towards students and towards whoever was at that event was completely okay. So that's one side of, I guess, the spectrum of perception you have towards political extremism and what it is in the context. And then there are a lot of students who feel differently about it, who feel that that's not the right narrative that they should be pushing forward to students. I think what Melody, what Isaiah were saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the opposite end of the spectrum generally and mostly consists of students from marginalized groups that Turning Point is specifically targeted in, pushing forward their narratives to students. So the inclusion of marginalized groups as a title to that resolution gives a little bit more clarification, because like you said, we don't know what political extremism really is and can be. So providing that clarification that this specifically affects marginalized groups that form 90% of our student body here on campus. I don't know, I just wanted to second Veronica and Melody's call on this. I think many people have different views with what political extremism is, and providing that clarification on the resolution itself is going to make it much more systemic.
Thank you. With that, we'll move forward with voting on the motion. The motion, just as a reminder, was to amend the resolution title to say statement against political extremism on campus towards marginalized groups. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Are there any other questions or comments or amendments regarding this resolution? Yes, Representative Lynn.
commenting on the like executive order part, just looking back at the minutes, it was the president's suggestion that the resolution be turned into two separate motions. Considering the timeliness of the resolution, I feel like there was prior warning of this resolution being brought into two different resolutions. And since the original one was brought up before spring break and it was a week break, I feel like the executive order is warranted.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm considering not to executive order this resolution because I do agree that maybe we can add a definition of what political extremism means, because it is a very subjective topic depending on which angle you want to look at. In addition, this person was supposed to come in today to speak in public comment, but unfortunately couldn't. And this is the student president for the TPUSA chapter here at UIC. I believe he wanted to mention, his perspective on his beliefs. I think he comes from an interesting background because he himself is a minority. He's a Black student here at UIC, but yeah, he's the president of the TPUSA chapter here, and he wanted to provide his story and his thoughts on this. So that's one reason why I wouldn't executive order this. However, I'll be fine with executive ordering the event. That makes sense.
Yes. So next up is Danya. Go ahead.
All right, I motion to make an amendment to the last let it be resolved. I'm going to change it to USG does not condone marginalizing sentiments made on campus by political parties or organizations. I have it in the chat.
Yes. There's been a motion to amend the last let it be resolved clause to say USG does not condone marginalizing sentiments made on campus by political parties or organizations. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments regarding this motion? If not, we'll move forward with voting. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. We will have to wrap up discussion soon because of time, but are there any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Representative Lynn?
Yeah, still regarding the executive order, in terms of like defining political extremism, it seems like since we've had our discussion about the resolution for 2 weeks, that the body generally agrees on how it deals with political extremism. We already called the vote on these two amendments, so I feel like that's irrelevant. When it comes to the public comment for Journalism USA, I mean, their opinion is definitely welcome here and relevant to the discussion, but they didn't show up here. The original resolution before spring break, they've had time here and they aren't a voting member. I think that since the president made the recommendation that this be split up into two separate resolutions, it's a very strong recommendation. I feel like the executive order is definitely warranted for this. We've had our discussion, we have made our amendments. I think the body is going to decide on this. And, again, on timeliness, like this happened a while ago. The longer we wait, the less relevant it is.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Abby?
Yeah, we forgot to see one more in the whereas right before the let it resolve. So I motion to make an amendment. Where it says where the student and political extremism, just say against national group. Yeah, right in there. So yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, there's been a motion to amend the whereas clause to say USG condemns any and all political extremism towards marginalized groups. Is there a second? Okay, any questions or comments regarding this motion? If not, we'll move forward with voting. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Okay. Any last questions or comments regarding this resolution? Okay. If not, we will be voting on this resolution next week. Next, we have resolution 2023 S9 1020. Director Alvarez, would you please read this for us? Oh, let me pass this to you. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
So are we not concerned with actually making sure we get this stuff for the end of the semester?
I'm gonna have them read the resolution first, and then could you ask your question again?
So this is the second, the initial resolution, with a few things added. So this is USG Beyond the Echo Chamber, the symposium on freedom of speech. Chief sponsor is there, co-sponsor there, I wrote one name off, we'll save time, but whereas resolution 2023 S10 2023, the previous resolution, dems political extremism to order the university administration to be more considerate of the needs of marginalized groups when guest speakers book campus spaces. And whereas the undergraduate student government has vested interest in upholding freedom of speech and expression on campus, indicative of our campus's cultural and political ideological diversity, then let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government shall host an open events beyond the echo chamber, a symposium on freedom of speech, for political organizations on campus and all students to engage in a discussion on freedom of speech. Then, let it further be resolved that the events will invite guest speakers to lead the discussion by sharing their academic insights and answer questions from students. Then, let it further be resolved that the event will be recorded and shared on the undergraduate student government's social media platform to be accessible for all students. And let it further be resolved, USG allocates $75 to distribute pamphlets and promotion of the event. Let it further be resolved, any unspent funds shall be returned to the USG budget.
Thank you. I will now open the floor up for discussion. Are there any questions, comments, or amendments to this resolution? Yes, Representative Brina?
Yeah, so for the purpose of this event, is it to basically have like a fishbowl conversation of all these political like groups, or I guess like what is the goal? Like, are there guided questions, or how is like the structure going to be in terms of conducting the conversation?
Yes, you may answer.
Yeah, great question. So what we plan on having is inviting two USG professors from two different sides of the spectrum. Obviously, Dr. Stovall, very left-leaning individual, and Professor Tim McKenzie, I'm not sure if you know, who's the political department here at USC. He's towards the more conservative side. But basically, the events will have them for 15 minutes. One share their piece, another share their piece, not in a debate style. We do not want this to be a debate, who's right, who's wrong. At the end of the day, we're never gonna find out who. So the idea is to let these two individuals share their piece, you can live over this. After that, we're gonna open it up to the students who are there to ask questions. Now, it's important to know we're only going to record the first 30 minutes of the professor giving their lecture. We do not want the actual recording to prevent students from actually expressing their question. Because if they're being recorded, then they might not want to ask certain questions. So the idea is to record the first 30 minutes of both professors expressing their opinions, ideas. So the camera's off, have an open discussion. Now, where to get questions from? We've been collaborating with the PAC. We're going to have a day where both committees work together to ask questions around campus. And they Google form, hey, we're having this event, what questions would you like to be proposed, if we have time. And then we also plan on reaching out to these student organizations. We have a list for 15 political organizations. We've reached out to a few of them as well with the same Google form, and we're slowly getting input.
May I ask a follow-up?
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, so thank you for that response. I guess my follow-up question is, since it is, you know, inevitably, there are going to be some heated conversations, regarding like political discourse. I mean, I know it's kind of a given. So in preparation for that, will there be a mediator at the event to make sure, you know, everyone's being respectful, or, I guess, will there be like an unbiased party, like a student or like a proctor to, take questions or something? Or is it just gonna be the professors?
No, we're gonna be there.
Okay.
We're gonna be there, and I think, and I'm not sure, you all were at the mayoral candidate forum. We kind of have like an actual lawyer to be the mediator to prevent students or prevent the, audience from like heckling or saying bad things. That's basically what we're going to be doing, and at the very beginning, we're gonna give that discretion. Everybody being recorded, we ask that you're respectful, we ask that you hold your questions to the end. We also ask that you not, you know, get upset at this conversation. It's an open discussion. This is why we didn't want this to be two professors kind of arguing about this, to create that hostile environment. This is an open discussion that we want students and UIC professors. And we're all in this situation together. So yes, we will make that discussion at the very beginning.
Yes, Director Felix and then Director Chidari.
I kind of want to ask, so kind of going alongside with that, question about like if things get too hot and heated in the conversation, do you kind of have like I guess like a guideline of like, okay, if things are getting out of hand, you're going to be removed, or you're going to be escorted, or what that looks like? Because at a quick glance, I didn't see anything like that. Or is that something that you're going to announce in the beginning? Because I want to make sure that like if people are being spoken over to a point where like nobody can have a conversation, I want to make sure that like if steps are taken further, that it's not viewed as being selective or any type of like silencing of voices any further, or if that's even something that is wanted to be done, you know? So what's the plan?
Yes, you may answer.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think with the two parties and the organizations on campus, the political organizations on campus, it does seem like things can get overheated. I know with the previous resolution, there was some conversation going on, so we can't imagine what something like this would bring up. But again, like I mentioned, it's a very touchy subject, so that's what we like to be careful with it. But that is something that we can add, very discretion, like you mentioned, if you are being disrespectful, if you have to be one, if these actions there to allow people to leave. That's something that we can add, or maybe, you know, at the very beginning.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes, Director Chidari.
I just have two questions. A, like when is the event? And then B, like I see you said that, you want $75 to distribute pamphlets. So is that something that you were hoping to get through to creative and digital services?
Yes. Yeah, we're currently working on, by Donnie and I, and they are currently working on the flyers. We have the drafts up. And regarding, but did you, and I'll answer the same question, then you can answer, regarding creative services. Regarding the date, it's a great question. Like I said, we have Dr. Stovall solidified. He has his date and we're ready to go. Professor Evan Kennedy is coming out sabbatical, but he's coming back to London, to have, to participate in this event. However, we're still having, some scheduling conflict in London. So if he's not able to, we're not able to solidify a date for both of them, we'll just have to go with Professor Stovall, which is the first event.
Secretary Danya.
I'm withdrawing my hand being raised.
Okay. Representative Slaughter.
Okay, so speaking of the mayoral candidate forum, something I liked that they did is with the mics, they just cut people off. Yeah, they were about it. So I think that would be a great idea to implement in terms of like, then like a question or strict response. You get 2 minutes, that's it, moving forward. So that way, if everybody is like going by the same standard, it doesn't, A, it's not violence because you're not giving like one person more time to talk than another. And B, I think it keeps things streamlined. So you don't have as much emotion and tension resonating in one moment. What do you think about that?
You may answer.
Elevator. Just cut the camera, just cut the microphone off as soon as somebody hands you. I think it's important because at the end of the day, we want this to be a civil discussion. That's your idea. This is mine. That's it. It's not a debate. It's an open and civil conversation. That's what we really envision. But yeah, I appreciate that. It really keeps things organized.
Representative Dean?
So, I think everybody has, again, creative perspective, so again, I have to mention this. We all have different ideas and we have different beliefs in our own. And we have to understand that. And at the end of the day, after I think the conversations or communication just work, if both parties or more than two parties can be listened without interruption. And after that, if we, okay, so like you say your idea, I say my idea, but at the end of the day, it's not like, okay, you live your life, I live my life, but it's this, like we're trying to find something in between that we can stay together. It's not like I'm trying to win or you're trying to win, and I hope everybody can understand that. Like this is the first pitch, and I understand that like everybody has the right to protect their idealism or their belief, and it's really hard to say who's right, who's wrong. The word is already complicated already, so like I'm not trying to prove that I'm wrong or you're right. At the end of the day, we're just trying to find the base that we are all agreed on, and we have to work toward it instead of just saying without doing anything. And please, I think this is my motto, but I hope everybody can understand that we should over deliver and so we should over deliver and under respect. Thank you.
Secretary Danya?
For some clarity, I think the way people are seeing this is like a debate rather than like kind of like an info / guide to engaging in civil discourse. Like it's not an event where people just drop all their ideological beliefs. It's about how to engage in those kinds of conversations. So Professor Stovall talks a lot about institutionalized racism, classism, all those things that affect our city, but he does it in a way to where he has to engage with all these other administrators, and he's worked in the Chicago public school system, and he's worked into so many different areas in the city where that's kind of hard to bring that up, especially when it is kind of a racist and classist system still implemented. And then our other guest speaker is Professor McKenzie, who does specialize in terms of because not only does he have a legal background, but he has insight into what is hate speech and how to go about that, because we're not lawyers, but with these kinds of things, not to say that you have to be objective, but there is a manner in how you approach these types of topics. So again, the clarity is that all the names that are on here, the chief sponsors and co-sponsors, they're going to be involved in this, and how to, keep the climate so it's not super tense or whatever. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we should have microphones. We're not going to have microphones for the people speaking. It's going to be in a lecture center. So it's kind of like how it is in any class where you share your thoughts and opinions and you ask questions, and you have a professor at the front answering that and guiding you through that sort of topic. And, they have that academic insight to guide you. So it is going to it'll probably be heated, but the objective is that in the beginning, and I've discussed this with the people on this resolution, is that in the beginning, there's a large, not disclaimer, but we're definitely going to preface that there is a decorum to maintain. And also, just reinstilling what the intention is of the event. I hope all of you can see it for that and not like necessarily a debate for one side to contend the other on a particular political topic. And yeah, it's just civil discourse and how to go about being an advocate and how to speak on. I'm definitely talking so much, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying.
Thank you. I'm going to limit discussion to a couple more comments for the sake of time. Representative Slaughter, go ahead.
Thank you. I'll make this fast. Thank you for that, Secretary Danya. I think hopefully that a lot of people understood that this is meant to be, you know, a civil conversation. But because we know that there's inherent discourse like present there, especially during the Q&A session that, like you said, things are very likely to get heated. And I think we're all just trying to come up with ideas to mitigate that. Because we do want to have a peaceful discussion. I think everyone who will show up there is looking to get something from the conversation that's going to happen. But just, you know, we're just trying to brainstorm how we can keep things peaceful.
Thank you. Yes, Director Jair.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I also want to add back on what Secretary Gowdy said. This is an educational resource on how to engage in these conversations, not to debate on who's right or wrong. That's just one thing. And that's why it'll be recorded. Yes, it's going to be a town hall, but we also wanted to have a value even afterwards. We want people to be able to come back to this video, to this recording, and engage in this event.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, President Matthew.
You requested executive order. Does that still stand?
If possible, that'd be great. But before we do, of course, I'd love for everybody to feel comfortable with how the resolution stands.
Are there any final questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Quinn?
Yeah, I just want to make sure in the first clause, where it states the name of the resolution 2023 S10 2023. I don't believe that's the right name, so I just want to make sure that we have the right name.
Yes, could one of the sponsors please clarify the resolution they're referring to? Is it S8 5009 perhaps?
Yes, I'd like to motion and then take the cash flow. I'd like to motion an amendment to the first whereas, which is resolution 2023 S10 2023. I'd like to amend it to say resolution 2023 S8 5009.
There's been a motion to amend resolution 2023 S10 2023. Yeah. To say resolution 2023 S8 5009. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion is passed. Any final questions or comments regarding this resolution? Okay. If not, then are we having an executive order for this?
Yeah, I would like to motion to place an executive order on this.
There's been a motion to executive order, or there's been an executive order of resolution 2023 S9 1020. And we will be voting on this tonight. Any final questions or comments? If not, we'll move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2023 S9 1020, please say aye. Oh, yes.
This resolution is with regards to the event, but it also is in conjunction with the statement that we received before the event. So will we be having, just to clarify, will we be having that on the executive order as well?
I'll be executive ordering this event, and we can proceed with the normal procedures to promote this event to the student body.
Okay, any final questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Representative Lynn.
Yeah, again, I think we can have more time to discuss this. I know you mentioned we had spring break to discuss this, but that's not true. Spring break is considered vacation days. And so in addition, I wasn't notified of executive ordering these resolutions. I'm fine with executive ordering the event because I know events are on a timely basis. And so I want to respect the timeline of the event, but I think we can reword the statement just to fit better to what everyone has been saying here. I think we can discuss this in the Legislative Affairs Committee, where we can invite everyone to come and share their thoughts and come to a more cohesive agreement.
Representative Sauter?
One last thing, I think this has been mentioned in the past, but I think that if something is time sensitive and like you have a committee's backing, you could just get the committee to, I think, say, hey, this committee, or not USG, but like this committee within USG is doing this for the day. As a workaround for this, it might not be ideal, but it also might be something.
Any final questions or comments? If not, we will move on to voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2023 S9/1020, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then resolution 2023 S9/1020 is passed. Next, we have resolution 2023 S9/1021. Representative Nasser, could you please read this for us? Can someone pass her the mic?
Resolution 2023 S9/1021. It is for an event titled Careers and Cutouts, the career inspiration event. The chief sponsors are myself and Representative Juana Cordova. And then the co-sponsors are Treasurer Basta and Director. Whereas many students, especially those who are not on traditional tracks, suffer from a lack of direction, spending unsure or unaware of what they want to do for a future career. And whereas the undergraduate student government helps spark a sense of motivation, students find then greater clarity on their professional future. Then let it be resolved that the undergraduate student government shall organize an event titled Careers and Cutouts on April 24th from 1 to 2 p.m. in New York. And let it be resolved that the Careers and Cutouts event will feature students creating a vision for their future career using magazines and newspaper cutouts. Let it be resolved that this shall instill a sense of clarity and purpose in students as they map out and visualize what they hope to achieve in their ideal future with regard to their career. Let it be further resolved that this event shall give students time to align and final examination. You have their newspapers and magazines that you like to be very.
Thank you. I will now open the floor for discussion. Are there any questions or comments regarding resolution 2023 S9/1021? Yes, Veronica?
So this is, maybe just my idea, so like, I noticed that going to be, 3 p.m. and it's gonna be outside, basically outdoor, right? So like, do we have any expectation for the weather or any suggestion for like something to cover the place to make sure like people can stay and do the vision boards, that I don't want students to stay under like a super hot sun or like raining to think about like the future, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like, I was just thinking about that part, yeah, that's just my self, yeah.
That's a really good question. And actually, when I put this out, one of our co-sponsors reached out to me and he was mentioning how there might be a chance that when it's going to happen, and winds in Chicago are pretty intense. So there are different ways that we can work around this. One is that we have a plan B, people sit indoors and say the weather conditions are really extreme. We're looking into that right now. I'm gonna have a sync up with Lana just to discuss what we can do for plan B to post the event inside. But the whole rationale with conducting it in the quad was just because the weather closer to the end of the semester is going to be really beautiful, and we would like for that picnic concept to be introduced. And it also kind of saves us space with seating and everything, because everyone's just gonna have a very free and easy sitting on the picnic mats and everything. But that's a really good suggestion. I'll definitely.
Representative Vilai, Mike, speaking to the mic.
Does everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I like that idea. I totally understand how it sounds, but for me, buying magazines for companies, they are. I mean, they can, yeah, sure. So I can understand they read magazines and bring it, but buying brand new magazines just for company is for me and I don't mess with.
Oh, are you saying it's the way of doing things?
Yes.
I completely understand that. That's very valid, and I think the whole kind of idea was for students to kind of have that free space to look in magazines and figure out what really echoes with them in terms of the career for the future and everything. I understand that we could have another way to go around this by printing out pieces of the magazine. But the whole rationale is for students to look through the magazine and figure out what really speaks to them in terms of their career for the future. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a real way that we could go around that, but if anyone has any suggestions, I'm definitely open to it.
I think they can bring their own magazines maybe, or if you guys have, I think last year, at their house, old magazines they can bring. But the brand new ones, I don't know if they're right, but.
No, you're so right about that, and that's why in the resolution itself, I stated that, if there are no magazines to be donated and no newspapers to be donated, then we will not these, magazines from this project itself, but.
Representative Dean? Speak very loudly.
Yeah, so what I mean is that I think, so like, let's find the middle one. Is there any possible way we can buy like a room? Just like, I understand like why it's frame, we can like, make it like, those things. I was thinking about like, maybe we can buy home magazine. I just don't know like, like did you mention or any kind of services on like training or?
Yes, would you like to respond?
Yeah, I'll just speak for.
Okay.
If you look for your thrift store, there's the back of book section, box, box, keep on everything from like, right, so you have to apply, so if it comes to the nation, you can only go to the thrift store, you can buy instead of box, $5. So that's something that we can do. I think this resolution, we're going to try to push it forward with resolution. Because you have to do yourself, find magazines, sign them up, you know. But I think with donation, you can definitely buy a box of magazines for $5. So in this case, for state postal, with the magazine circle, will probably not be sold. And in the case that we don't want to, we need to but we're still listening to these other options that y'all have.
I also wanted to make an additional comment that, the magazines that I listed for these are all just suggestions, so if you do find any other magazines that perhaps, you know, cover career areas or have some sort of visual in regards to that, then we'll definitely.
For the sake of time, I'm going to limit it to 1 or 2 more comments. Treasurer Basta?
Yeah, where would we get the magazine from?
the magazines would be purchased from their originals.
Okay. Just to clarify, I completely agree. I think that magazine should be donated, but we can't ensure that we're gonna have them donated. And, you know, that the event really hinges on this, so I support us having these magazines in the resolution and voting on that, passing that, because it's a backup. We need these magazines just in case. So we'll gauge the interest and also the donations, but it's good to have these in the agenda.
Last comment, Representative Patel.
So that's probably really good comment. And I don't want to just say that these vision boards are going to start. It consists of what students want to do in the future. We have these magazines that all the time. They not only provide good insight on what careers could look like, but say a student wants to achieve a specific part in the future or a specific part. That could also be something that could tie in with their career, what they want to achieve out of their career. So it's not very limited per se to just their career, but more so what they want to see themselves achieve in the future as well. So it's a whole idea revolving around this vision for what do we envision in the future out of it.
For the sake of time, we're going to move on to discussion. If there's any further comments or questions, please reach out to Representative Nazra, and we will be voting on this resolution next week. Next, we have Resolution 2023 S9 1010. Representative Kadir, could you please read this for us?
I motion to make an amendment to change the title of the resolution.
Yes, go ahead and make your motion.
To 2023 S9 1022.
There's a motion to amend the title of the resolution to be Resolution 2023 S9 1022. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then the motion passes. All right, you can go ahead and read your resolution.
USG 8th Student Trustee Office and HPSC collaboration. Chief sponsors are myself and Representative Paradruk. Whereas UIC offers 11 pre-professional study concentrations, 10 of which are considered pre-health, and whereas UIC is home to 7 health science colleges, applied health science, dentistry, medicine, nursing, pharmacy, public health, and social work, and whereas the Health Professional Student Council, HPSC, serves as a representative student government to UIC on behalf of the health science colleges, and whereas a significant portion of the UIC's undergraduate student body is currently on a pre-health career pathway or shows interest in pursuing a health care related field, and whereas there are a plethora of benefits that come from a collaboration between 2 student government organizations in order to interconnect, as well as provide a platform for undergraduate students to gain mentorship opportunities from graduate students, then can you scroll down, please?
Who's sharing their screen? Could you?
Let it be resolved that USG student trustee Muhammad Haq and the HPSC will collaborate to host a hybrid event aimed at networking pre-health students with their professional counterparts, as well as provide a platform for HPSC members to lead a panel discussing their journeys toward graduate school and current progression.
Thank you. I will now open the floor up for questions. Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Treasurer Basta.
Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment. This is the initiative that we discussed as a item for discussion a couple GBMs back, requiring no funding on our end, and we're just showing support and helping promote that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, we will be voting on this next week. Next, we have resolution 2023 S9 1023. Please find it attached to the email chain. Okay. Representative Nazar, could you please read this for us?
This is resolution 2023 S9 1024.
Oh, sorry, 23.
And she's sponsored their success, co-sponsors, I believe, for that is in the interest of time. Whereas the undergraduate student government is using supporting students in their academic success and ensure to help students achieve career opportunities. And whereas the purpose of the event is to give students an opportunity to ask their related questions in a casual setting. And whereas this can be achieved by collaborating with the USG Career Development Department. And whereas the Student Success Committee will be hosting a popcorn, moving and professional event in collaboration with the LES Department of Internships and Career Development on Wednesday, April 19th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And let it be resolved that USG will allocate $80 for the following services and any other needed supplies for the below. There's a section 2 microphone. Let it be resolved that USG will allocate $135 for the following services supplies and any other needed supplies for the below. Let it be resolved that the undergraduate student will allocate $36 for the following beverages for USG catering and any other needed beverages for the below. And then we have the money. Let it be further resolved that USG will allocate $105 for the following popcorn and any other needed snacks for the below. For the popcorn. Let it be further resolved that USG will allocate $50 for the delivery of the letter. And let it be further resolved that USG will allocate a total of $406 for the cost of the USG popcorn and professional events. Then let it be further resolved that any unused funds will be returned to USG.
All right, sorry, just as a clarification, this is resolution 2023 S9 1024. I think there was some confusion because the same resolution was sent by Director Murtaza as 23. So we will go back to 23 after this resolution. But I will now open the floor up for discussion. Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Yes, Treasurer Busta?
Yeah, I have expressed to Director Monitor that we may have a certain amount of these items in the USG office, it's just gonna check. But the thing is with this event, it's coming up, and in order to ensure that we're going to get these items in time, I believe that we need to go in this resolution today. Obviously, it's up to the discretion of the president, but as my suggestion, also Director Monitor's suggestion.
Yes, President Matthew?
Yeah, so I was notified of this executive order well in advance, and I'm okay with executive ordering this because the Student Success Committee has successfully gotten all these career departments to join in on this event, and I believe there's a time crunch for this, so I will be using executive order.
Okay, I have a question. Is it possible for the lemonade to be picked up, or is the delivery necessary? Because I'm seeing that the $50 is quite hefty compared to the actual price of the lemonade. Yes, Quinn.
Yeah, we're going to pick it up. We allocated the $50 for delivery for the slight chance that USG Catering will deliver it. We haven't been delivering our stuff lately, so we kind of just put on there just in case, but not expecting that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding this resolution? If not, are we having an executive order?
Yes, I'd like to use an executive order.
There's been an executive order, so we will move on to the voting tonight. Are there any final questions or comments regarding this resolution? If not, we move forward with voting. All those in favor of adopting resolution 2023 S9 1024, please say aye. All opposed, please say nay. Does anyone abstain? If not, then resolution 2023 S9 1024 is passed. Next, we have resolution 2023 S9 1023. My apologies. Could we have Director Chidari read this for us? Could we have graphic designer Zaina read this for us?
Whereas Canva is an online design and publishing tool which facilitates photo editing, video making, and logo creation. And whereas Canva Pro offers premium stock,
Is that a fire alarm? Yeah, can someone go check if that's, sorry, so sorry. I motion to recess for 2 minutes. Is there a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Okay, let's go.